Coach, what do you guys need to do to parlay that nice game that you had over the weekend here into success on the road versus USC?
Well, I mean, it's we've been competitive in some games on the road. We got to figure out how to get a win. Breaking down a bunch of film right now with USC, and I know they present some problems. I think Wesley on the perimeter is playing as well as anybody, any of the wings in our league right now, and Arabi presents some difficulties at 7-2 for us, and he had an impact on the game last time. We've got a lot of things. There's really no little things this time of year. I thought we rebounded well this last week and made that a point of emphasis in practice and improved on that. That's going to be something that has to be consistent with us. And, we just got to make some plays offensively and defensively. There's a lot of elements to the game, nothing magical and no huge point of emphasis, just having some poise and some maturity and figuring out a way to get it done.
It seems like when Brandon Taylor plays well, your whole team seems to find success. Is he one of the caveats to wins for you guys?
Well, I mean, I think if you looked at some correlations with some guys, we had 5 guys in double figures on Saturday and 4 on Thursday, and I'm not sure that's happened on any weekend for us. Brandon's played well here as of late. He didn't play well a few weeks ago. He had a stretch where he was down. So I think, as the case is with a lot of the sophomores on our roster, finding some consistency. They're far more consistent as sophomore than they were freshmen. And part of the growth is as they move forward, starting to string some games together back to back. And, we expect a number of guys to be able to hopefully carry it through for us. But it's like which came first, the chicken or the egg? When you look at W's and guys that played good, I think there were a lot of positives that we played well, and Brandon's one of the keys to our team. But I wouldn't put it all on his shoulders.
Coach, 3 of your starters are from Los Angeles: Brandon, Dakari, and DeLon. I believe.
Unless we change the starting lineup, right? Unless
you change the starting lineup. I believe that none of them were offered by either USC or UCLA. What's their mindset going to be going into to this weekend? And this is their first time home, and is there different layers for them going home, and how do you handle that as a coach?
Well, I hope the focus is pretty simple. It's more about our team than it is any individual story and axe to grind with somebody. There's a lot of people that USC and UCLA haven't offered scholarships to, and I don't expect to have to try to calm them down or get them excited. It's about Utah basketball, and we're going back to a place that they'll be comfortable in. Get a chance to play in front of family and friends, hopefully. But really beyond that, I don't want to make it any bigger, than it has to be. And, maybe a better question for those kids. I'm sure they've all got a different mindset going in, but hopefully it's more of a collective, we need to get a win than it is anything that they've got, on their plate. But it'll be fun for them to get home, and that's, as you're recruiting kids from Southern California or the Bay Area or wherever, a lot of those kids maybe didn't have an opportunity to play locally, but they're still in what I consider the best league in the West, and they have a chance to come home, a few times throughout a college career, and this is one of those highlights for them.
And even, and Dirk asked you this, but I'm just going to expand on this a little bit. I mean, even though you guys have a lot of work to do, conceivably the NCAA tournament is still in play for you guys. Have you mentioned that, or is that something that, you kind of don't want to mention, and does that make Thursday's game against USC that much bigger a game for you?
Well, I mean, we talked about that at the end of our preseason. We had a meeting at my home and had kind of a wrap up to the preseason and kickoff for the regular season, and mentioned the reality is that there may be 5 or 6 teams in the Pac-12 that make the tournament. It's hard to say how it goes down, and one of the ways that we can assure that we're going to make the tournament is by winning the tournament in Las Vegas. And I don't think we need to talk about it too much. Again, I think we've got a pretty focused group, and we're talking about USC and winning the game, and really trying to focus on things that we can control, and that's our performance and our focus leading into it, our preparation. And I mean, I can't tell the kids, hey, if you win this game against the Trojans, we're going to be an NCAA tournament team. So that's, it's a little bit of rubbish to create that. But what can we control is trying to get a W and hoping that things line up in our favor when the time is right. But still, at the end of the day, if we won 7 out of our last 8 games or whatever it is, we still would be sitting there on Selection Sunday, and there'd be a lot of things that we couldn't control. What we can get a hold of is the next game and being ready to go in that game.